Hey, all you cool cats and kittens, it's Mrs. Treadway here, ready to educate you with some more geometry. All right, so before spring break and before coronavirus derailed our schooling and education, we were talking about right triangles. And so we are going to be continuing to talk about right triangles and move on to what we call trigonometry. Now, trig allows us to find side lengths and angles of triangles, right triangles specifically, when we don't have enough information to use those other tools that we recently taught you, like Pythagorean theorem, special right triangles, or even the Pythagorean triples, those little Pythagorean families. So, in trig, we use a reference angle, which is one of our acute angles of the triangle. And so here we're just going to start by introducing you to some vocabulary. Okay, so here in number 1, if I'm going to have angle B serve as my reference angle, then I need to label the 3 sides of my triangle with what we call the opposite, adjacent legs, and the hypotenuse. So let's start with our opposite leg. If this is my reference angle here, angle B, my opposite leg is the leg opposite of angle B. So I'm going to label that with an O on my triangle, and that is side CA. CA is my opposite leg. Okay? Now my adjacent leg is the leg that touches angle B. And so that is this side right here, BC, leg BC, and I'm going to label that with an A for adjacent. So I have my opposite side, my adjacent side, and now I need my hypotenuse. Now the hypotenuse is always the side opposite of the right angle. So here angle C is my right angle, and the side across from that is side AB. This is my hypotenuse, side AB. So those are my 3 sides, opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse, with reference to angle B. They would be different if I was talking about reference to angle A, but we will get into that a little bit later. Okay, so let's talk about trig ratios. Now that we know what these sides are and what they mean, we can talk about the ratios. So a little saying to help you memorize these ratios is SOHCAHTOA, because sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is opposite over adjacent. So SOHCAHTOA. I've even heard some people say suck a toe. So it's really up to you what works best for you. So let's write what these ratios are, and we're still talking about angle B. So I'm going to talk about angle B here. So starting with sine. Sine, again, is opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, and my opposite side in triangle ABC was CA, and my hypotenuse was AB. So here is the sine of angle B, my first trig ratio, opposite over hypotenuse. Now my cosine is going to be adjacent over hypotenuse. And for that specific triangle, remember my adjacent side was side BC, and again, my hypotenuse is AB. So here's my second ratio, my cosine of angle B. All right, and last but not least, our tangent is the opposite side over the adjacent side. And in triangle ABC, our opposite side was CA, and our adjacent side was BC. Okay, now do not panic. Trig ratios are literally just numbers. So the next video we do, we're going to be looking at a triangle that actually has numbers and side lengths. And we're going to use these ratios to find actual values. But it's very important that before we move on to that, you understand the vocabulary and what each of these things mean. So, SOHCAHTOA, commit it to memory, just numbers, just ratios of our right triangle. All right?